Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard podcast. Another special episode of 2 Minute Drill. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. And today we will be talking about the greatest small forwards of all time. Starting with number five, Max, who do you got?
For my number five, I'm doing someone. I'm not sure if he'll make y'all's list. I think he flies a little bit under the radar in all time. Didn't have the longest prime, but he had when he was good, he was extremely good. I'm going to Elgin Baylor for my number five. Never won an NBA championship. Funny enough, he actually retired at the start of the season. The Lakers won a championship. So technically, by today's rules, I think he may have gotten a ring for that, but he wasn't really on the team. But he did have not only 11 All-Stars, but 10 of those years he was first team All-NBA. That to me, 10 All NBAs is something that some of the guys even higher on this list I don't even think have. But obviously, like I said, he didn't have the longest prime. I think a lot of those years were like kind of up and downs. But when he was peak, he was scoring 35, 36 points a game. Like he was scoring points per game in an era without a 3-point line that rivals guys today, like Kevin Durant, LeBron James. He was doing even sometimes more than that. So I'm going Elgin at number five.
Okay. Omar?
I want to say this before I do anything. Elgin was a very close five for me. It was between him and this guy for me. But because of those up and down years for Elgin Baylor, it's not enough for me to say that he was better than Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen is renowned for his defense, his versatility, and playmaking, and a number two on that Chicago squad with Michael Jordan. It's hard to compete with that. So for my number five, I got Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, if I'm talking about individual wise, because all right, if we're thinking about five and particularly six, I think these are the two names that are probably gonna pop up more. I don't know if Max has Scottie Pippen on his list at all. I'm not sure, but I don't think I can put Scottie Pippen anywhere above 4 on this list. So if I was to put him here, I won't because I'm going Elgin Baylor. Like all the things Max said, I mean, he averaged 27 points a game, 13.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and he shot around like 43% from the field. So 11-time
All-Star. But even just look at his best years. Just look at his best years. He played a couple years at the end of his career where he wasn't after injuries, where he wasn't anything like his old self. Look at those prime years.
Facts. No, what I'm saying, that's still good. Like that's better than a lot of people even higher.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like his prime years, he was 33 plus.
Yeah, so I probably have to go 5 for Elgin Baylor in my opinion. Not just because I'm a Lakers fan, obviously, but he's just a dog, bro.
Yeah, I agree. That's why he was a very close number five for me. It just feels like Scottie Pippen was a lot more consistent, and I
don't think so.
Personally, it's more of a personal
8 all defense for Scottie is kind of crazy. I will say 8 all defense for Scottie.
Yeah. So and that's unheard of in today's NBA. So it's like,
yes. Moving on to my number 4. This is where I slot in the Dr. J, Julius Erving.
I think this is unanimous, right?
Rim players. Got an NBA championship, won an MVP. That was one thing that really boosted him up my list, was having that MVP under his belt, where some of these other guys didn't get.
Yeah.
11 All-Stars, 5 first-team All-NBA selections. And had he played in the NBA his whole career, he probably could be up there rivaling 3, maybe even 2. But he spent a lot of his time in the ABA where he had incredible amounts of success. But obviously, we can't necessarily translate that success into like NBA all-time status. So if we're talking NBA all-time, I think the highest I can get him is number 4. But Dr. J is by far he's one of the greatest basketball players ever, period. I just think his career was hurt by that stint in the ABA, but still he went to the NBA and accomplished great things. So I got him at 4.
Yeah, I got him at 4 too.
Yeah, that's unanimous. I got him at number 4 too. I don't think we can even argue with that.
He's a dog, man. I mean, he has some of the craziest dunks you'll ever see as far as athleticism. And like you said, he won that MVP, kind of solidified himself, and was able to get that championship as well. So shout out to Dr. J.
Dr. J, yep. Okay. Earl, you want to head us off on our number 3?
Yeah, my number 3 is actually no. It's actually closer than what people might think for me.
Really? Okay. This one wasn't particularly close for me, but I'm
going Kevin Durant at 3.
Yep.
I think KD deserves 3. I think if he was able to win in OKC and win a championship, maybe he could have got that other spot from, I'm sure we'll talk about the next guy a little bit sooner. But yeah, he's just Kevin Durant is KD. He's one of the most unguardable players we've ever seen in NBA history. The things he's able to do with the ball we all know he's 7 foot. He was the first original glitchy 7 foot demigod build. Even though he doesn't claim to be 7 foot, we know he is based on looking at pictures. But yeah, he's a dog.
He's 11 and a half.
2 Finals MVPs as well. We ball 2 championships. So shout out to KD.
I completely agree with that. The most prolific scorer the NBA has ever seen. So I don't think there's any competition with that. And the next guy we're going to talk about, pretty obvious why. You'll see. Max.
Yeah. I will say about Durant, honestly, he might be the most efficient scorer. Obviously, I'm quite young, but he might be the most efficient scorer that I've ever seen. This guy straight up does not miss. Like the amount of games where he gets 50% or close to 50%, shooting a bunch of threes, shooting contested mid-ranges is super impressive. Like he averages and he always shoots close to 90% at the free throw. Like he's a 50, 40, 90. I don't know how many times he's actually hit in his career, but he's been close so many times. And there's been so many big games in the playoffs with the other team's best defender draped all over him, where he shoots 13 for 19 or like 10 for 12. Like this guy just straight up does not miss. When Durant takes a shot, and still he's 35, when he shoots, I know it's going in, and it does. So I give him that. He might be the most efficient scorer I've ever seen.
Yeah, I completely agree. Agree.
Number 2.
Moving on to number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Larry Bird. I think we all got Larry here. Based on the way
Larry. Yeah,
you got to put Larry in too.
Big ol' Al. Do we even need to explain why? I mean,
I'll give Larry his credit. I put him over Magic all time. I had Magic quite low on my point guards list compared to you guys, but I back Larry all time over Magic. I just think he was a more well-rounded player. He wasn't a great defender, but he was better than Magic defensively. He rebounded the ball really well. He passed the ball really well. Obviously not on the same level as Magic, but not nearly as poorly as people think. Like Larry Bird was a very good playmaker. You ask anyone who saw him play, he was a big part of orchestrating that Boston Celtics offense that won multiple championships. You know, the first truly elite three-point scorer in the NBA. He revolutionized the way players stepped out behind the three-point line, won the three-point contest a bunch of times, could score on all 3 levels. There was really nothing he couldn't do. So I give him that edge over Magic all time, and that's enough for me to give him the edge at number 2 on this list.
All right. Yeah, I mean, again, for all those reasons, I agree. So we're just going to...
You want to lead us off with number 1?
I think it's
the glorious best player to ever touch a basketball. Ever since he was a baby, he was destined to be the king, the chosen one, king of Ohio, Mr. LeBron James, Mr. December 30th, same birthday as me, GOAT James. He's the best. I
didn't know you shared a birthday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
One of my other friends has a December 30th birthday.
Not only the best power forward of all time, but arguably the greatest player of all time.
He's top 5 in every position.
Every single category. Yep. I can't disagree with that.
Top 5 center after his 1 year.
Top 5 center all the time, 100%. But all seriousness, I mean, it's pretty hard to not put him number 1 all time. Points leader, top 10 in assists.
I'm not even the biggest LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron hater, but I'm not the biggest. I'm not a LeBron stan, but even there's no competition. There. He is number 1, clearly.
Let's just say he's still putting up 20-plus points a game at 55 years old, so it's kind of crazy.
Michael Jordan wasn't doing that, so you are completely right. And that kind of tops off our small forward list. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the Beyond the Backboard podcast. Make sure to check out this week's episode of the Beyond the Backboard podcast. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. See you guys soon, and peace.